flip it, and it's who they are now. And it's only by the power of God. So you'll see things like this, ordinary, selfish and sinful. But God changes people. God waters our dry hearts and our spirits. God breaks down some walls. Now, this one is not a real one, okay? I just threw this one in here. Family kidnapped by ninjas and you need money for karate lessons. That's not a real cargo or testimony. Okay? But the next one is, felt alone and worthless. Who we are. Who we were. And who God can change us to be. Onesimus was a slave. His people had a bad reputation anyway. As I was studying for this and reading about this, that even, the only way that you can make him better is that you had to mistreat him more, to whip him into shape. He had a hard life, and he made some bad choices. But God changed him. But just because he told God he was sorry, it did not release him from slavery. And Paul wrote this letter on his behalf. In fact, if you'll read this chapter, you'll see Paul say, whatever he owes you, I will pay. That's the story of Jesus Christ right there, paying off the price of our sins on the cross. Whatever he owes you, I'm good for it. Charge it to me. That's a big step to take for somebody else, isn't it? Boy, talk about sticking your neck out for someone. Jack, I don't know if I can do that. I'd have to really be sure and believe that God does change people. Let's move on. Number 2. Don't deny your problems. We got to face them. We want to talk about redemption. Paul was not going to let Onesimus keep on running. He sent him back. Now, he sent him back with hopefully a word of encouragement. He sent him back with hopefully a word of good stewardship. He sent him back. He sent him back because he had to fix this. In Philemon, verse 12, I am sending Onesimus, who is my very heart, back to you. I love him. I care about him. But he's got to face what he did. We cannot play ostrich, okay? Everybody knows what that means, right? Just stick our head in the sand and let the storm blow over and everything will go away. It doesn't work. We have to face things. We have to face things. And maybe you're sitting here this morning and you've got a God-sized problem that you need to turn over to God. That's part of facing issues, is saying, God, I need your help with this. I can't do it. I can't fix it. I can't change it. I can't make somebody do something different. If you have that God-sized issue today, you need to name it. Name it and own it, right? Name it. God, this is my heart. This is what's going on. I need your help. That's how we answer that. So what's our problems? Everybody's got them. I did some research today. You know how you can get those statistics? 20% of people think Dr. Pepper is nasty, and 80% think that 20% don't know what they're talking about. That kind of stuff. Did you know 100% of people have problems? You can't just ask, how many people have problems? Everybody's got problems. What's yours? Have you given it to God? Are you facing it? Are you facing it with God? Is He helping you? Because He will if you'll give it to Him. So here we can do 3 things with our problems. I love this. Here's the next slide. You can curse it. Right? Anybody try to yell at a car so it will fix, right? I want this stupid thing start, you know, that type of thing. We can curse it. Anybody ever try to curse the problem? Has anybody had better success than me with that? Because it doesn't work for me. I can't curse it and make it go away. We can nurse it. You know what I mean by that, don't you? My life is horrible. And we just live in our pity and relish in the mess that we got ourselves in. You know, like, I'm not calling you pigs, but sometimes I'm a pig because I just like to wallow in the grit and the grime. Because for some reason, I think it's going to get me some sympathy, you know. I get no sympathy from April. I think the only way I would get any sympathy if I dismembered myself, you know, lost a hand, foot, leg, then she might show a little concern and patch me up, you know. We can curse it, we can nurse it, or lastly, we can let God reverse it. There's not a problem that God can't handle. Nothing is impossible for God. Even the things that we say we cannot do right here, right now, is not impossible for God. Even if we don't believe that God can do it, it does not minimize His strength, His power. God is still God. Even if we don't think He is. He can still do whatever He chooses. There's nothing too big for Him. We can't run and deny the issues in our life. We do have to face it. And finally, this is the last one. Finally, change your focus. Don't focus on what was, but focus on what can be. That's kind of a fancy way of saying don't live in the past. Because your past is your past. You can't change yesterday. Even if we're living with sin. That's kind of the thing about these cardboard testimonies that just touches my heart. Is you just see somebody name who they used to be and recognize what God has done. Onesimus was a thief. Wasn't even a free person in that society. But he was freed and changed by Jesus Christ. Paul didn't write a letter and say, you know, well, he took the truck because he needed a ride. He took all your stuff because he wanted to watch TV. And he had to pay for, you know. No. Paul focused on who he was now, not who he used to be. Today, let me tell you, today you need to focus on who you are now, not who you used to be. It doesn't matter who reminds you of it. Everybody run into the old high school buddy and, hey, you remember when, you know, that kind of thing, right? Am I the only one? Come on now. I'm the only person that run into somebody at high school and they, hey, you remember when, you know, you drove that car through that ditch and, you know, now they put this big concrete pylon there, you know, I can show you that one. It doesn't matter who we used to be, it's who we are now. Because we've been changed. We're brand new. We got a pipeline to God. He's on our side. Maybe you need a little encouragement this morning. Paul said formally, here, look at this passage. Formally, Onesimus was useless. That's some harsh words. He was useless to you. But now, he has become useful both to you and me. What a compliment. I'll ask you again. Can God make a change